welcome, Media Men Online. I am Dan, and this is my review of Dexter Original Sin, Season 1, Episode 7. Dropped 2 days ago, so it's Sunday morning now, and it dropped on Friday. So, the original plan was to do this every time an episode dropped, but it's kind of been inconsistent in the release dates, so we didn't have an episode last week, coming off of that cliffhanger that we got. Before we get into that, full disclaimer. Dexter is my favorite series of all time. I've talked about this on several occasions. I've seen every single episode dozens of times. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen. I had an annual tradition of going back every September after the series ended and just rewatching it from start to finish. No football season was on in my other spare time, I would rewatch it. So take all that with a grain of salt. I'm a totally biased Dexter fan, but I'll try and be as objective as possible. So at the end of episode 6, we were left hanging. Dexter pulls up. So full spoilers for episode 6. I'm going to try to dance around episode 7 as much as I can. Especially there is a reveal, we'll say, in episode 7, which I will not spoil. The end of episode 6 sees Dexter. He had just killed Levi, the guy who got away due to his dad's screw up in the courtroom process. So Dexter was on his way to dump Levi's body when he stumbles across a crime scene. His crime scene. Previous guy he killed, that's where he dumped the body, and there's an arm left. So Dexter has to navigate his way free, I guess. We'll say free. He has to put the police in another direction. That takes up a significant portion of episode 7, but we also have the continuing investigation into Captain Spencer's son, the second boy who was kidnapped by this. I guess we can't call him a serial killer yet. It's only his second boy. By the way, his second boy kidnapped. He's only killed the one so far, to our knowledge. And Deb and her friends in episode 6 get revenge on the snobby girl, the one that Deb and they're going to, for team captain. And the last thing from episode 6 where they left us, we do get a little bit more of the Laura Moser storyline, but in terms of Dexter, we find out he might have a girlfriend. You guys saw episode 6. Hopefully you did by this point. So Dexter pulls up on the crime scene with his laminate, his ID, his Miami Metro ID, to join the crime scene. But he's still got Levi Reed's body in his trunk. So the potential, the camera angle, they do a great job, camera angles of just keeping the truck in the background for a little while. So it's in the audience's mind, what's going to happen if they need to use his truck to load, I don't know, some gear or, literally anything. He's got a free pickup truck. He's a Miami Metro employee. Why not, load up some evidence and have him bring it back to the station? And there is a moment, so Dexter spends a good portion of the episode trying to find a solution, right? He needs to find a new dumping grounds. And if you've seen the original series, you know that it ends up being the boat. And there's a little bit of a nugget where he says, oh, Biscayne Bay would be a great place, but I don't have a boat yet. Obviously, Dexter is narrating the story from the future. There's the side storylines. Dexter's mother is getting in too deep with the cartel. Dexter's extracurricular activities causing an immediate, very instant issues with his girlfriend slash now ex-girlfriend. And Deb and Sophia, the girlfriend, fight over Dexter, essentially. Deb has his back. Sophia thinks she screwed around on him because he was rummaging through a dumpster to get rid of Levi Reed, and he looks guilty when she asks him about it because he is guilty, but not for what she thinks. The series, and I'll get into this in my conclusion quite a bit, but the series has gotten back to Dexter's kind of an awkward dude, and everything he's doing is trying to cover up the messes he's making, especially now that he's not refined. And then the other Deb storyline is her potential scholarship to FSU, riding on possibly becoming team captain of the volleyball team. And Deb screws that up almost immediately because Sophia is at odds with her. I forget the gal's name, the snobby girl, but Sophia decides to tell her about the fact that they stole her car and messed around with it at the beach. And her and Deb get into a fight. Deb punches her in the face, gets in trouble, kicked off the team. We'll see where that takes us. We have 3 episodes left in the first season. Hopefully this continues because it's quite good. Now, without going through everything beat by beat, as much as I've spoiled some things, I just want to say that there's a reveal in this episode that requires you to watch this. Stay off of X, because I literally just went through and I got the account up here, but I was going to go through and try and find some reactions to it that didn't necessarily spoil the reveal, but there's not a lot. People are ruthless with this stuff, so be careful going on the Dexter main Twitter account. X account is pretty safe, but in terms of the rest, it's fair game. This episode has a revelation on the level of what we used to get in season 4, some of the things we got in season 1. Back when Dexter was at its peak, this is what this reveal is like. To this point, Dexter Original Sin has totally wiped the sour taste that I had from Dexter New Blood. It nearly ruined my enjoyment for the series, and it did for a while. Like I said, even up through, so Dexter New Blood came out in early 2022. So up through 2021, from the time the series ended in, I think, 2012, 2013, I stuck it out and I kept rewatching it. So eight more years since it ended, and then Dexter New Blood put me off of it. And obviously, it put a lot of people off of it because they're bringing back Michael C. Hall as Dexter in Dexter Resurrection. So it's not just me. It was a terrible ending, and the whole reason that they wanted to bring out Dexter New Blood was to give it a proper ending. And it was a worse ending than the first one. People complain about the first ending. I liked it. It was proper. New Blood did a lot of damage for my enjoyment, and Original Sin really is undoing that damage, because I have started rewatching the series again. The main series. And this episode was so good, it came out 2 days ago and I've already watched it twice. It's another perfectly done episode. There's nothing I can complain about. The storylines are progressing. All the characters are moving. We're moving through all these different characters, and they're all evolving as the story's happening. Nobody's really left in the dust. Even Batista. Masuka's kind of just a side character at this point. There hasn't been much with him, but LaGuerta, Harry, everyone is getting proper time and thought. I hope. I'm very excited for the final 3 episodes. I do hope that they continue Dexter Original Sin. I don't know if Dexter Resurrection will be the final Michael C. Hall. Probably, depending on how it does, I would imagine. But hopefully it's not the final version of that. But even if it is, I think Dexter Original Sin will be a proper replacement. Even if we get a few seasons, 3, 4, whatever it happens to be. I hope it's not just this one. It's very entertaining, very enjoyable. If you're a Dexter fan, it's right up your alley. Like I said, episode 8, the revelation is towards the end of the episode, and I literally couldn't be more excited for episode 8. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Have you been following along with Dexter Original Sin? What do you think of it so far? All that good stuff. We will catch you guys later.